Hello, my dear students, welcome all of you to my class. Today, we will continue with the chapter 2 Civics, and that is Federalism. In previous class, we have discussed about the definition of federalism, characteristics of federalism, differentiate between unitary and federal system of government. Okay, two aspects and two objectives of federalism. Two different federation of federalism means the coming together federations and holding together federation. And last but not the least, what makes India a federal country? Today we'll start our session with the first topic, and that is how is federalism practiced. So in previous section we talked a lot about the constitutional provision that guaranteed the division of powers. But the constitution can't contribute to the success of federalism. The major success of India's federalism lies in the ways politics is practiced in our country. I am going to repeat. The major success of India's federalism lies in the way politics is practiced in our country. India is indeed a true democracy, as it knows how to respect our country's vast diversity, ethnicity, and culture. Now, we will understand how the practice of democratic politics has made India a successful federal state. Okay, so have a look at some of the major ways in which federalism is practiced in India. So, first one, formation of linguistic states. So, from the time of independence, several new states have been formed in India. A vast majority of India's states are created to include people who speak the same language and belong to the same region. These states are known as linguistic states. Examples include Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka. But some states were created not on the basis of the language but to recognize differences based on culture, ethnicity, or geography. This includes states like Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. Language policy. Hindi was identified as the official language even though it was the mother tongue of only 40% of Indians. 21 other languages were also identified, called scheduled languages. States to have their official languages. According to the constitution, the use of English was to stop as of 1965. However, on the demand of many non-Hindi speaking states demanded the use of English to continue. Government also headed to the demands of continuation of English. Till now, there is no official language of India. This decision by the country's leaders proved the extent to which democracy runs in the blood of political leaders. Center-state relation. Restructuring center-state relation is another way of empowering federalism in India. If no single party gets a majority in the Lok Sabha election, major national parties ally with regional parties to form the union government. This led to the practice of power sharing between the center and states while respecting state governments' autonomy. Decentralization in India. India is a very vast country. Federal power sharing in federalism elaborates the essential aspect of decentralization, which plays a key role in empowering local government. The practice of taking power away from the union and state governments and giving it to local government is called decentralization. The objective behind this kind of devolution is that most issues and problems can be solved better at the local level. This way, local citizens can also directly participate in decision making. In 1992, the Constitution was amended to make way for a third tier of democracy. So, the key features of the third tier as per the Constitution are like periodic elections must be held mandatorily to fill up position in the various local government bodies. मतलब आपका periodic election होना ही है. Okay, 1/3 of all local government positions are reserved for women. The State Election Commission was created in each state to hold municipal and panchayat level elections. A percentage of position of executive heads in local election is reserved for SC, ST and other backward classes. State governments are required to share revenue and powers with the local government bodies. The percentage of revenue sharing varies from state to state. Now dear children, we are going to talk about the rural local government infrastructure. तो सबसे बेस पे होता है सबसे बेस पे होता है ग्राम पंचायत। सबसे हम लोग असेंडिंग ऑर्डर पे स्टार्ट करते हैं। सो ग्राम पंचायत इज़ द बेस लेवल। ईच विलेज और ए ग्रुप ऑफ villages in some states has a gram panchayat. This is a council consisting of several ward members, often called panch, and the president or sarpanch. They are directly elected by all the adult population living in a village or ward. Gram Panchayat is the decision making body for the entire village. Next one, Gram Sabha. The Panchayat works under the overall supervision of Gram Sabha. All the voters in the village are its members. It meets at least twice or thrice in a year to approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat and to review its performance. The next step is Panchayat Samiti or Mandal. When Gram Panchayats are grouped together, they form a Panchayat Samiti or block or Mandal. The member of Panchayat Samiti representative are elected by all the Panchayat members in that area. And last step is Jila Parishad. All Panchayat Samitis or Mandalas in a district together constitute the Jila or district Parishad. Members of the Lok Sabha, MLAs of the district, some other official of other district level bodies are its members. Now move to the next topic, and that is urban local government. So as Gram Panchayat exists for rural areas, similarly we have municipalities for urban areas. Big cities are constituted into municipal corporations. Both municipalities and municipal corporation are controlled by the elected bodies consisting of people's representatives. The municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipality. In a municipal corporation, such an officer is called the mayor. Dear children, this is the table of differentiate between the rural local government and urban local government. So please go through it. So we know that what are the advantages of local government. Now we are going to talk about the demerits of local government. Local government का क्या drawback है? So Gram Sabhas are not held regularly. Most state government have not transferred significant powers to the local. Local government lack adequate resources also. So all this system of local government is the largest experiment in democracy conducted anywhere in the world. Constitutional status for local government has helped to deepen democracy in our country. However, there is still room for immense improvement, and we need to step ahead to realize the benefits of federalism in its true forms. So my dear children, that's the end for today's session. We will meet in our next class with new topics. Till then, bye. Take a very good care of yourself and happy learning.